and stuff. Our peak pose is going to be dancer instead of king dancer. When we did it in the studio, we were working on king dancer, but that's a little more intense and you definitely need a strap for it. So we're just going to work on dancer's pose, just kind of trying to perfect dancer's pose. A lot of times it's a balancing pose, but a lot of times we don't even put it into our sequences and stuff. So hopefully today's sequence will be helpful for you, just working on that. It's actually like, it's probably my favorite balancing pose. I just think it looks really pretty. I think it feels good in my body, and it's one of the ones that I'm able to do almost to like the full expression of the pose. I don't really have to modify it much or anything. So for me, I really like it. So that's what we'll be working on. So yeah, like that. These dogs don't be jerks today. And let's start in a child's pose. Knees wide, toes touching, forehead on the mat. Starting to ground down. Feeling that connection with the earth. Bringing your mind to the present moment. Letting thoughts of anything else, any to-do lists, any things that are bothering you, any stresses, just let those thoughts go. And at least give yourself this hour to just clear your mind. And then set aside any expectation of your practice today. Just meet yourself where you are today, where you are mentally, where you are physically. Just try to do what feels right for your body. Maybe that means taking it a little easier, not taking every pose, not going as deep in every pose, taking rest when you need it, doing all of those things. And then we're going to come into our first yin pose. You can just lift your hips up. So your hips are going to be high, and then your hands are going to walk out as far as you can take them, and then you're going to drop your chest down towards the mat. It's okay if it doesn't touch, but just melting your heart, melting your chest down towards the mat, stretching your back. Try not to hold tension in your shoulders. You can place your head however it feels good to you. Maybe your forehead is on the mat. Maybe you turn your head to the side. Taking deep breaths while you're in these yin poses. Inhales bring you lightness, openness. The exhales release tension and stress. Taking 3 more deep breaths. After the third breath, starting to walk your hands in. You can come into that tabletop and take some movement, maybe left and right, maybe take some cat-cows. And then we're going to come down onto our belly. You're going to bring your right knee up towards your right armpit. So we're coming into like a half frog. So you're welcome. We're not coming into full frog. But you want to bring your right knee as high up as you can towards your armpit. And then we're just going to lay on our belly, stretching that right hip. Try not to hold tension in that right leg. Just let it release, let the hip sink down towards the mat. Taking 3 more deep breaths. And then start to straighten that leg back out. Take it behind you, maybe windshield wiper. Then taking it to the other side, the left knee comes up towards the armpit. Come back onto your belly. Let the left hip sink down. Try not to let your mind wander. Bring it back to focusing on the body, any sensations you're feeling. Maybe just bringing it back to the breath. You could count your breath, count the inhale, count the exhale, try to make them even. Three more deep breaths. The end of the third, straightening that left leg, windshield wiper. And I'm pushing back. We're going to come into a seated position. I'm going to turn around so you can see from the back. But you can sit in like crisscross applesauce. You could sit in a lotus if you wanted to. If you want, you can cross your knees and have your knees be on top of each other. But the main focus here is your arms. So we're going to come into what's called cow face. So you're going to take your right hand, you're going to drop it down behind you. Then your left hand is going to come from underneath. And you're going to try to bring your fingertips towards each other. If they don't reach, you can always just hold on to your shirt like this. Or maybe, usually I can get, there you go. Or usually, maybe you could bring your fingertips together and grab hold. The main thing here is you want to sit up nice and tall and you want to push your right shoulder back and your right elbow back. You don't want to be hunched over. You want to be trying to sit up, so if that means you have to separate your hands a little bit more and grab further down on your shirt, maybe you do that. But you want to try and hold this and then try to relax the shoulders down. Try to let the spine be long. And just breathe. Make sure that right elbow isn't falling forward. Your back if it did. Should feel a nice stretch in that right shoulder, the right arm. And take 3 more deep breaths. Slowly release it. And take your arms left and right, shake them out. Now we're going to take it to the other side. So this time the left hand comes from above, the right hand comes from below. Grabbing wherever works for you. Maybe it's your shirt, maybe you can get the fingertips. And then push that left elbow back. Let the left shoulder be heavy. Nice long spine. That dog's not talking to you. Look. In this pose, you don't want to be squeezing your shoulders together. Just let your shoulders relax. Try not to clench your jaw. Release any tension in your face. Tongue off the roof of your mouth. Allow some space in between your teeth. Three more deep breaths. And then releasing, shaking the arms out, shaking the shoulders out. And then from here, we'll come back to that tabletop. And now you can go through some cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, raise the chin. Exhale, arch the back, tuck the chin. Keep going with your breath. That movement should feel good in the spine and the upper back. Going back to neutral. Take the right leg behind you, left arm forward, find your balance. Reach with your fingertips, push with your heel. Find length, long spine. Exhale, set it down. Coming to the other side. Inhale, left leg back, right hand forward. Exhale, set it down. Back to the other side, right leg, left hand. And then if you want, bend your right knee, reach your left hand back, try to grab for your foot. And then if you have your foot, you can kick into your hand, let your shoulder roll back. This movement is similar to dancer's pose, except you have the same foot and same hand. This way we're doing it opposite, otherwise you would most likely fall. Release your foot, set it down. Left leg, right arm. If you want, bend that left knee, reach back with your right hand, grab for your foot, and then kick into the hand, let the shoulder roll back. Let your back arch like you're in cow pose. Release, set it down. Take some organic movement here, left and right, forward and back, circles, stretching the wrists, rolling up the neck. Coming back to neutral. Inhale, tucking your toes. Exhale, push back, down dog. Take movement. Find your down dog. Making sure to listen to your body. Maybe you want a shorter stance today, maybe a longer stance, maybe wider, more narrow. If you play around with all those, you'll see how they stretch your legs in different ways. They feel different in your whole body. Maybe one position takes more weight out of your hands. Just figuring out what you want today and then taking that stance in your down dog. Playing around with it, knowing it doesn't have to be the same every day. Then finding a little stillness in your down dog. Taking a big breath in and a long breath out. Inhale, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Then take a forward fold, maybe bending your knees, maybe grabbing your elbows, swaying side to side, rocking forward and back. Feeling the stretch in the back of the leg. Releasing the hands down. On an inhale, slowly coming all the way up to standing, reaching up, looking up. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Closing your eyes. Think of one thing you're grateful for. Open your eyes. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. And your choice, you can push back to down dog or take a chaturanga to a cobra or an up dog, to down dog. Inhale, walk or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Interlace the fingers, leaving the first finger out. Find some length. Wiggle your ribs away from your hips. Push down through your feet. Pull up on your kneecaps. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. And then reach over to the right. Thinking more that you're pulling up as opposed to pulling over. So keep that reach towards the ceiling as you fold over to the side. Inhale up through center. Again, finding that length. Find the grounding down through your feet, pulling up on the kneecaps, belly button in, and then roll over to the left. Still feeling that reach with the spine, reaching with the side body up towards the ceiling as opposed to towards the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, taking a flow or pushing back to down dog. Inhale, walk or float, top of the back. Halfway lift. Fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Interlace the fingers again, leaving the first finger out. Doing all those same things. Ground down through the feet, pull up on the kneecaps, pull the belly button in, wiggle for length. And then if you want, coming to a slight back bend, bringing your arms by your ears. Still thinking of being long, tall, taking the compression out of your lower back. Inhale through center. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Taking your choice, meeting in down dog. Inhale, walk or float to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, your choice. Holding your down dog. Take a big breath in. Long breath up. Inhale, right leg rises, bend the knee, open the hip. Keep the weight equal in both hands. Chest square to the mat. Straighten the leg. Step it forward between your hands. Push your left heel down. Toes turn out 30 degrees. Push all the way through your back leg. And then come up into your warrior two. Front knee is over front ankle. Tailbone is tucked. Trying to pull that left hip towards the top of your mat. Trying to square the hips. Now lift your left heel. Come into a high lunge. So all that changes is that left heel comes up. Everything else stays the same. Drop your left knee down, untuck your toes, coming into a low lunge. Now, if you want here, using your left hand, you can even put your right hand on your right knee. Using your left hand, reach back for that left foot. I have a good hamstring cramp going here. That happens a lot when I reach for my back foot. You can always just stay in your low lunge if you want them. Releasing that left foot down. Both hands come down to frame your front foot. Push back into runner's lunge or half splits. Here the focus is on trying to get that leg straight before you worry about bringing your chest down. So if that means you come up higher so that you can get the leg straight, do that. Then once the leg is straight, then you can start to fold forward over it and try to square your chest over the knee. Push forward into that right foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then step your left foot up to meet your right and come into a chair pose. Chair pose, the weight is in your heels. You can still see your toes, so sit back. Pull the belly button in, tuck the tailbone slightly. Hands come to heart. Twist to your right. So left upper arm comes outside your right thigh. Check in with your knees, make sure they're in alignment with each other. And then try to push your hands back towards center, trying to stack your shoulders. Exhale, fold forward. Heel toe your feet hip distance apart. Using your peace fingers, grab your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Maybe bend your knees here. Use your arms to pull you down. It's not just a regular forward fold. You're really using that arm strength to pull you down a little further. Pull your belly a little closer to your thighs. Releasing the big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, take your flow. We're meeting down dog. Inhale, left leg rises, bend the knee, open the hip. Straighten the legs, step it between your hands. Drop your right heel down, toes turn out 30 degrees. Push up through the knee, through the thigh, and then come up into your warrior one. Trying to square the hips, tuck the tailbone, belly pulls in. Front knee is pointing towards the third or fourth toe. Everything stays the same except you lift your right heel, coming into that high lunge. Right knee drops down, untuck the toes, low lunge. If you want, right hand reaches back for your right foot. Left hand can come on the knee. This is similar to dancer's pose too, so just trying to warm up all those body parts, get used to the movement and the feeling. Releasing the back foot. Both hands come down to frame your front foot. Push back into that runner's lunge, half splits. Again, focusing on straightening that leg. And then maybe falling forward. Pushing into the left foot, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, step forward, chair pose. Trying to have your arms next to your ears, lifting the chest. Exhale, hands come to heart center, twist to the left this time. So setting up the arm, then check in with the knees, and then try to push your hands towards center, stack your shoulders. Exhale, fold forward. Heel toe your feet, hip distance apart. Peace fingers, grab your big toes again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Use your arms, pull yourself down. Releasing your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, taking your option. And then holding your down dog. You're gonna come down onto your forearms. So still staying in your down dog, but just doing it on your forearms. Push out of your shoulders. Don't let your head come down. Don't let yourself sink like this. Really push out of your shoulders. Your neck should be able to move freely. And then start walking your feet in towards your elbows, coming into dolphin pose. This is just to strengthen our shoulders a little bit. I know Becca's a real fan of this one, and Amanda. Everybody loves some dolphin pose. Slowly start to step your feet back. And come back up into your down dog. Inhale, walk or float to the top of the mat. halfway lift and fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. We're gonna set up for warrior three before we do our dancer pose. So for warrior three, you're gonna ground down through your foot, pull up on your kneecap, really make your quads strong. Make this muscle super, super strong by pulling up on that kneecap. Pull your belly button in, and then when you're ready, you're gonna start hinging at the hips and lifting that left leg behind you. Try to keep the left foot flexed and try to keep pulling up on the left kneecap too. Having that, that left leg engaged will help you balance. Trying to bring your chest to parallel and that leg parallel to the ground behind you. Trying to keep your left hip square. Don't let your left hip open up to the side. We're not doing half moon. Drop that left foot down to meet the right, shake it out. Then setting up on the other side, pushing down through your left foot, pull up on your left kneecap, make that quad strong. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Start to hinge the hips. Keep your right foot flexed. Keep the toes pointing down. Keep your spine long. Push through the big toe of your standing foot. That's what wants to lift. That's the side of your foot that wants to lift. Push it down. Drop that right foot down to meet the left. Shake it out. All right. So for dancer's pose, it's similar. You're going to push down through your right foot, pull up on your right kneecap, pull your belly button in. Then your right arm is going to go right up next to your ear. Nice and straight. Even you could bring your fingers together with your thumb to really engage your hand and really keep your arm engaged. Then your left hand is going to come out to the side. You're going to reach for your foot or your ankle. And you can hold it either way. You can hold it from the outside, the pinky toe side, or from the inside. I usually hold it from the inside. You can hold it either way. Then bring your knees back together. You could just stay here. This could be your dancer's pose for today. That's fine. Or you can start kicking into the hand. As you kick into the hand, equally reach with your right arm and start to fold forward. But you have to keep that reach in your right arm and the kick equal so that you have that counterbalance. So try that. If you can't reach for the foot, that's okay. It would be helpful if we had some straps, but we're working with what we've got. So let's do it from the side so you can see it from the side. Try not to let your left knee flare out to the side, even when you're kicking. Try to keep that left knee pointing down. And you can let your left shoulder roll back. You can let your back arch. That's what's supposed to happen. Sometimes we tell you to avoid those things, but in this pose, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Shake out your legs. To do King Dancer, just so that you have an idea, I can't do it, but to do King Dancer, you would be reaching over your head for that foot. See how close I am? I'm like right there. I'm almost there. I can almost do it. Just kidding. I can do better with a strap because you can really yank on your foot and make it come closer. But yeah, I'm nowhere near close to being able to do it without a strap. So coming into the left side, push down through your left foot, pull up on your left kneecap, pull your belly button in. Left arm goes up by your ear. Keep the arm engaged. The right arm reaches out to the side, reaching for your foot, whichever way you want to grab it. Then bring your knees back together. Stay here, or if you want, start kicking and start reaching. Keep your right knee pointing down. You're going to want to kick out to the side. If the knee comes out to the side, it makes it a little easier, but you're not actually getting the right stretch. My left side is my bad side. You're going to notice that with any kind of balancing pose, most likely you have a good side and a bad side. It's just the way it is. My left side is my bad side. Can't balance as well. But I'm also left-handed, so you might find that the left side is your better side. Setting it down when you're ready, shaking it out. If you want to try for king dancer without a strap, go for it. See how close you are. See if you're as close as me. Just kidding. Certainly not anywhere near close. Once you're done playing around with that, come down onto your back. Just bring your knees into your chest, maybe even take one hand on each knee and take them in opposite directions. Dancer can kind of stretch your hip flexors for sure if you're doing the kick and the fold. So just release your hips. And bring your feet to the floor, hip distance apart, heels close to your butt. Setting up for bridge pose. So on an inhale, lifting your hips, lift your lower back, lift your middle back. Maybe roll your shoulders underneath, and maybe you can get some of that upper back off of the mat. Make sure your knees aren't falling out. Keep the action of squeezing your thighs together, even though they're still going to stay apart. You don't want to actually squeeze them together, but just that action of squeezing them towards each other. Keep your knees pointing straight out over your toes. Taking whichever option works for you with your arms. You can interlace your fingers underneath you. You can grab onto your yoga mat and pull it apart. You can take robot arms like I'm doing. Exhale, slowly release down. Take your feet wide, let your knees fall in on each other. Setting up for bridge pose again. On an inhale, lifting up. You could even come up onto your toes if you wanted to play around with that. You could always lift one leg or then the other if you want to take it up a notch. Slowly release down. Take the soles of the feet together, knees fall out wide. Take your hands somewhere on your torso that gives you comfort. Maybe one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, or anywhere else that feels good to you. Bringing your knees back up, feet back to the floor. Taking your right ankle over your left thigh, push your right knee away from the body. Then if you want, reach through, grab for your shin or your thigh. Try to keep your head on the floor. Try to keep your shoulders pulling back. Both feet are flexed. And trying to clamp both knees closed. Slowly releasing down, switching it out, left ankle over right thigh, flex the foot, push the knee away from the body. And if you want, reach through for the shin or the thigh. Pull your shoulders back down towards the mat. Flex both feet. Clench both knees. Hey, hey, Stanley, it's okay. Stanley. Slowly releasing down. Bring your knees into your chest. Roll around, massage your spine. They're bringing us good things. It's UPS. They're bringing us things we want. Stop. Coming into a happy baby. Lay your knees down towards your armpits. Soles of the feet point up towards the ceiling. Push your tailbone down. Pull your shoulders down towards the mat. Bringing your knees back together. Send your left leg long on the mat. Squeeze your right knee in towards your chest. Even pull it out to the side a little bit towards your armpit. And squeeze it in as close to your body as you can get it. Really use your arm strength. Pull it in. And then on an exhale, take that right knee across your body, over to the left side. Maybe the knee comes down to the mat, maybe it doesn't. And then open your right arm out to the side, coming into the twist, pushing your right shoulder down into the mat. Slowly come back through center. Squeeze that right knee in one last time. Then send the right leg long. Squeeze your left knee in. Squeeze it over towards the armpit a little. Use your arm strength. Squeeze it in as close to the body as you can get it. On an exhale, cross the left knee over the body. Maybe the knee comes down to the mat or the floor next to you. Maybe it doesn't. Open your left arm out to the side. Push through your left shoulder. Breathing deep in this twist. Feeling your belly rise and fall. Coming back through center, squeeze the left knee in one last time. Then send it long. Finding your final resting position, whatever that looks like for you. Once you get in that position, letting the whole body relax and release. Do a quick body scan. Notice if you're holding any tension in any areas, maybe the shoulders, maybe the belly, maybe your face. Just allow that tension to release, let go. For a few moments, you have nothing to do, nothing to think about. Just let go. Let yourself be. Take a moment. Give yourself credit for making time, for moving your body, for clearing your mind. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. Release any tension, any stress, anything not serving you, let it go. Shavasana. Slowly starting to bring your awareness back. Small movements in fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Rolling your head side to side. And taking your arms overhead for one last big full body stretch. Rolling over onto your side. Take one last moment. Appreciate your body, the breath, the earth supporting you. And making your way to a seated position and bringing your hands to heart center. I thank each of you for making the time to get on your mat, to move your body, and to honor your mind. Thank you for allowing me to guide you. I hope the rest of your day is peaceful and calm. Thumbs to forehead center. Namaste. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Lori. Have a good day.